You promised yourself you would be on time today. You even planned it. You woke up early, you told yourself, this time will be different. But somehow, it happens again. The clock moves faster than expected. You rush, you panic, and once again, you arrive late. People sigh. Some roll their eyes. Others joke about it. You're always late. And eventually, that label sticks. Lazy, disorganized, irresponsible. But what if that explanation is too simple? What if being late isn't always about time? Imagine this moment. You're getting ready to leave the house. You check the time. You still have 20 minutes. Plenty of time. So you answer one message. Then you look for your keys. Then you suddenly remember something else you need to do. 10 minutes disappear. Now you feel the pressure. Your heart speeds up. You start rushing. Shoes on, bag, phone. Where are the keys again? Now you're officially late. And as you walk into the room, everyone looks at you. That tiny moment hits hard. A mix of embarrassment, guilt, and quiet shame. You say the same words again. Sorry I'm late. But inside, something heavier is happening. Because deep down, you know you didn't want to be late. Here's something most people never talk about. Chronic lateness often has very little to do with laziness. In fact, many people who are always late care too much. They care about how they appear. They care about doing things right. They care about not disappointing others. And, ironically, that pressure can create the exact behavior they're trying to avoid. Psychologists sometimes notice a pattern. People who struggle with time often struggle with something deeper. Their brain doesn't experience time in a straight line. Instead, time feels abstract, distant, almost imaginary until it suddenly becomes urgent. There's a psychological term called time blindness. For some people, the brain simply struggles to feel how fast time is passing. 5 minutes feels like 15, or 15 feels like 5, and by the time the brain realizes what's happening, it's already too late. But time perception is only one piece of the story. There's another layer that runs much deeper: emotion. For some people, being late isn't about the clock. It's about what they're walking into. A stressful meeting, a crowded room, a social situation where they feel judged. Their mind hesitates, not consciously, but subtly. They stall. They check one more thing. They scroll for a moment. They delay leaving the house, just a little. Almost like their brain is quietly saying, let's slow down. Because arriving means facing something uncomfortable. Pause for a moment. Think about your own life. Is there somewhere you're always late to, but strangely on time for other things? Maybe work meetings feel stressful, but meeting a close friend, you're usually early. Or maybe you're late for events where you feel judged, but perfectly on time for things you truly enjoy. That pattern says something important. Sometimes lateness is not about time management, it's emotional management. There's another hidden reason too: perfectionism. Some people can't leave until everything feels just right. The outfit, the message they're sending, the last small task before they walk out the door. They want to leave feeling prepared, complete, but perfection takes time, and perfection rarely arrives on schedule. Now here's the twist most people never expect. Many people who are always late are actually thick thinkers. Their mind is constantly processing things: ideas, memories, conversations, future scenarios. Their brain doesn't operate like a straight highway. It's more like a city full of intersections, thoughts crossing everywhere, which means simple transitions like leaving the house can take longer than expected. But the biggest hidden weight of chronic lateness isn't the clock, it's identity. After years of hearing the same comments, you're unreliable, you'll never change, you're just bad with time, people begin to believe it. They stop seeing lateness as a behavior and start seeing it as who they are. And once something becomes identity, change becomes much harder. But here's something important. Patterns are not personalities. Being late does not mean you are careless. It doesn't mean you don't respect people. And it definitely doesn't mean you're incapable of change. Sometimes it simply means your mind works differently. Some of the most creative people in the world have struggled with time. Artists, writers, entrepreneurs, people whose minds move fast in imagination, but slowly in structure. Their strength is depth, but structure requires a different skill, and skills can be learned. Pause for a moment again. Instead of asking, "Why am I always late?" try asking something slightly different. What is my mind trying to protect me from? Is it stress? Judgment? Perfection? Overwhelm? Sometimes lateness is not a flaw. Sometimes it's a signal. And once you understand the signal, something powerful happens. You stop attacking yourself. You stop repeating the same cycle of guilt and shame. And you start designing your life differently. Maybe leaving earlier than feels necessary. Maybe preparing the night before. Maybe recognizing which situations quietly drain your energy. Because here's the truth most people miss. Change rarely happens through pressure. It happens through understanding. So if you're someone who's always late, maybe the story isn't as simple as people think. Maybe your brain processes time differently. Maybe your mind carries more thoughts than others realize. Maybe you care more deeply than people assume. And maybe, with the right awareness, this pattern isn't permanent. It's simply a habit waiting to be understood. And once it's understood, it can finally begin to change.